Alright, hey, how's it going? This is the one coolant tube that goes down to the oil cooler. Now, this I'm not using, okay? So I'm working on getting it pulled off of here. Alright. Now that that's off, we need to get that off. It's a pretty big one. Let's see here. It might be 24 maybe. 24 mil. Okay, that's the brass fitting that's flared for this line to be able to go into here. I don't know why they did it like that. So, Modern Performance sells this. Let's see what the instructions say here real quick. This is like an oil cooler delete. I just seen that they had this when I was ordering a bunch of other stuff, so let's see what we find. MPX oil filter delete kit. Okay, look, check it out. Supply fitting. We're going to put the one fitting there. And then the little hose here. It's actually a pretty decent one. I like it because it comes with this really nice plug. Go in here. Okay. Oop, there we go. All right, so this is what I had set up before. I just used a bolt and then I used a good piece of hose. So this will actually go onto here. It's just gonna look better because it has this little piece. And then this fitting here, even though it has sealant on it, I'm still gonna wrap it with some tape and then we'll stick it into this hole here. And that is the oil cooler delete kit that Modern has. So we'll have that installed. Just basically working on getting everything off of this motor over there, switched into this one. If you look, I had it plugged off with one of the what would that be? One of the coolant lines for the turbo down here. It's painted black, but it's the same over here. I actually had a second one, so that's what I just used to plug the hole when I put that one together. So I'm going to get the oil line swapped over. I got to get the alternator pulled off, and then I'm going to get that bracket swapped over, kind of get the back side of this engine done. I already have a manifold put on, so I'll probably double check all these bolts, and then I'll bend over all these new tabs because these bolts are all new. Just kind of picking at it, getting this thing done here today. Yeah, so we got to transfer over the coolant block off here, and then my oil line. Yeah, we're gonna get this. Second time's always a charm. All right, check it out. Put the plug in, oil line, that's blocked off. This bracket. I'm just gonna move over here, and I gotta get this moved off. But I think I'm gonna try to get this clutch, and then I'll get to doing this, and then I'm going to start on the timing belt and stuff. I don't know. I just want to see what the clutch looks like. If it's pulled off, it's going to be one less thing I got to spin around when I'm doing the timing to line it back up to 0 when I pull it off of this motor. It's not like it's that big of a deal. Got this mess cleaned up. Just so had a couple people before say, paint that. I painted it so that it wouldn't rust. Alright, because I knew it was going to be sitting for a while. But we got the paint cleaned off and it's ready to have the water pump installed. So I'm still working on getting everything off. Getting the thermostat housing and all the lines. I'm going to get them pulled. It looks like I might need to touch them up a little bit. So I was going to come over here and start working on this. This is going to be the first time pulling this. I just can't believe the price of these things. All this thing did was sit on the car, and now it's that rusty. Amazing. All right, well, I'm gonna get this pulled, and then I gotta get the crank around to top dead center and make sure that these are where they're at before I go pulling the rest of the timing covers and everything else off, which I can get those here now. I can actually work on starting to get those disconnected so that we can switch everything over, the water pump, you know, everything to do with the timing belt, all the covers, and you know, we'll just get one step closer. I did already switch my front bracket here for the power steering, and we can get at it, I guess. I do see a lot of people say something about having to pin these. It would probably be a good idea if I find what I need for that now before I get this put back in, but like I said, my main goal is just to try to get this stuff switched. I think after this is done, I think what you do is you just kind of drill a hole in between where the crank is and where this is, and then you just run a pin in there. I think that's all that is, and then they'll just pull right off, and then you can just reset the pin in the same location, I believe, is kind of how they work. So here goes nothing. I'm gonna get this thing off. All right, just a little steamy update. It's coming together. I got the valve cover switched over, all the piping, some of the sensors, the alternator. We have most of the timing switched over. I gotta put the belt on and set the tensioner. This is the DCR one that's set, that you're supposed to check, like, I don't know, every 30,000 miles, and use Loctite when setting. I don't know, I had it new, so hopefully, cross my fingers, it's good to go. There was one actually on this motor, because this was a DCR option. I looked over what was in it, so it looked like it was the option A, and then it has the DCR Pro Series head. But I sent this out, and then it was even ported a little bit more, port matched better. So I mean, that's BC stage 3s, Crowler stage 2s, and what is it, ARP studs, and then it has like BC, this actually has, yeah, BC springs, and then this is the, I don't know if you can see it, it's right here, Modern Performance head. I just seen that they stopped making these, so I'm sticking a stock valve cover back on here. I pretty much have almost everything off of here right now except for the oil pan. So I'm going to be swapping the pans yet, and then I'm going to bag this thing up and drop it off to the guy that does my engine stuff, and just have him install the tone wheel, get it balanced, and fixed up, I guess. I don't know if he sees anything else that he doesn't like. Hopefully he doesn't have to separate the cylinder head. I think you can push the pistons down and pull the crank out, and you know, do all the good stuff. So when I get these apart, I'll show you what they look like in the bottom. Point out that the tone wheel isn't there on that motor, and what it's supposed to look like on this one, so that we can see the difference. I gotta lift this one. I gotta get the hoist over here, and I actually gotta lift this one up to drain the oil. And then hopefully I have some cardboard boxes, because I'm just gonna tip it up on the back side and pull the pan off. So it's been sitting here now 3 days, 2-3 days. Any oil should be all drained to the bottom. I'm sticking a stock unpowder coated valve cover on this thing, so I gotta stick a couple bolts in that, and then I'm just gonna tape off these openings on the exhaust like I did this one. That way this motor's good and sealed, nothing's gonna get down in there. I did just pull the plugs out because they were new. This is what I got in there, NGKRs, so they were new. We'll get those down. In this one, I left them out because I'm going to be timing this. And then I'm going to actually double check these and scope these cylinders because I didn't have nothing on here. There should not be anything in here. So, but we're still going to check these out because I think like it's either one of these ones or these ones are open. So, but anyway, we'll scope them. We'll just double check all that stuff. Anytime you're doing this and you have something that sits for a while, double check. I mean, I have a lot of stuff going on. Who knows, man? Dirt, dust, something could have got bumped, something could have fell in there. Hey, you never know. It's like winning the lottery. You get that one little piece of washer or something ends up down in that cylinder and it's a trash motor. So still more to do. Yeah, we'll see what it looks like when we get the pan off. Still definitely good and hot here today. Alright, so still very hot. Still making some progress. We did clean up a bunch of stuff. I have the timing belt set on here. I got to go over it and double check that stuff. Here's the pan that was on. Here's the pan that was on the other motor. This one I already had the oil filter housing on, but let's take a look up underneath here. Okay. So this has the DCR pickup, the windage tray, and when you're looking at this like that, I mean, do you really want to try to pick out the tone wheel, which is actually back here? This one has the machine fit strap kit. Okay. I'm not sure what the rods are. They got the ARP bolts and stuff on. Like I had the oil pump off. I said that has the aftermarket gears. I put this on. This one just had the one without the screen on the end, so I upgraded to this one. But that's just to kind of give you a picture. Now this one is rebuilt, so it was a running motor, and everything kind of has a little bit of an oil staining to it. So let's go check out the other one. And this one was full of oil and running and leaking coolant and leaking oil. So this is what we got here. We have the same pickup. We have the newer style windage tray. It has the direct fit that doesn't need to be machined. Now if you take a look, right there is where the tone wheel is supposed to be, and you can't see it, but this has the Planko rod bolts. I think they're Eagle rods, Wiseco pistons. Bunch of good stuff. I mean, still decent motor, you know what I mean? I got the 5-layer on this one too. So like I said, when I flipped this thing up, I looked, I didn't see it. So but that's the difference in the looks between one that's new and one that's an older motor that was rebuilt, and then where your tone wheel was supposed to be. So just take a look at this here real quick. Let's go back over here. And take a look. I just, for some reason, didn't take notice to it. So, the oil pan gaskets and stuff are all new. So I'm going to start bolting this pan on. There's nothing to take apart. There's nothing to reset. And I'm just going to get this thing installed. I'm going to put the old pan back on the other motor, and we're going to slide that one off to the side. And that one is going to be then taken apart and have the tone wheel installed. I'll probably end up sending it out and having that done, and then that way everything can be balanced, you know, and it'll make a good motor. So let's finish getting this one ready to go in.